My name is Gloria. I didn't start investing until I was 43 years old. Proof that it's never too late to start investing, but the best time to start investing was yesterday. Hi, my name is Gloria Gear. I'm a realtor and investor here in Indianapolis, Indiana. I've lived in Indiana my whole life, been in the Indianapolis area for 8 years now. Married to my husband and partner in crime and investing for 23 years. We've got 2 kids. Jackson is 14, Reagan is 11. I am so excited today to be able to take you on my investing journey. My husband's an engineer. He has worked his W-2 job his whole entire life, nice and steady, great stability, contributing to the 401ks, the Roth IRAs. I, on the other hand, switch careers every 3 or 4 years. And yes, I have a problem with that. Used to be in education, I've been in direct sales, I've owned businesses, I worked for an engineering company, I worked at a sewage treatment plant. But honestly, I feel like all of these careers have kind of brought me to where I am today, and they're all just kind of a culmination. And I finally found the path where I need to be in real estate investing. I was 42 years old. I had a business at the time. It just went belly up. And I'm sitting there thinking, what am I going to do with my life? But I also thought, I'm 42 years old. I can do anything I want. So what did I do? I hopped on Google. I took one of those silly high school online placement career tests, and it said you should be in real estate. I'm like, great. You know, don't know much about real estate, but I really liked my realtor when we bought our house, so let me research this. So I went out, I got my license, went the traditional real estate broker route and started going showing houses to first-time homeowners and people that are downsizing. Well, about 6 months into it, I was on a team. So when you're on a team, you're the low man on the totem pole. You're sitting there at the call center and you're just taking all the junk calls that are coming in, fielding them, trying to figure out if people actually do want to buy houses or they're just looking at stuff. I got a call from a guy in California. He says, hey, I am from California. I would like to buy an investment property in Indianapolis. My first thought was, why? Why would you want to come to Indianapolis? It's cold, it's snowy half the time, we've got potholes. Why would you want to do Indianapolis? And so he started showing me the value of, you know, what really is going on in Indianapolis that will really help him and how he can't find that type of property out in California. So helped him buy his first rental property here in Indy. And he's like, hey, I got a brother that wants to do this too. His brother bought 4. We've got another brother. His brother bought 3. My other brother's got a girlfriend. We've got a business partner. And from there, it kind of started snowballing, and I was getting all these people that wanted investment properties in Indianapolis. So I thought, well, I've got to build a system around this. So I started building their team, building their business. So I was finding property managers, I was finding lenders that were great with investors, I was finding contractors that would help them with their work, and just started building this whole thing, had a streamlined process to help them. All along the time, I'm learning. They're teaching me their strategies, they're teaching me how they're doing things, they're teaching me why they're doing these things. And after finally 3 years, sorry, it takes me a little bit, I decided to dip my toe in the water and got my first investment property myself. Again, I had learned from their mistakes, so I knew what to look for, what not to look for. And then after that, it was just like, you know, let's go, you know. So as soon as I got my first investment property, I was literally hooked. We did a flip. We've got 4 doors that we're renting right now. And we have this great property that we're going to show you today that is just awesome. Today, I am going to show you the absolute ugliest little house in the neighborhood. This is a great area. I'm going to turn this into the cutest, most adorable house you've ever seen. Because I'm an investor, I let anyone and everybody know that I'm an investor, and I'm constantly looking for houses. This particular little house came from a friend of mine who's a realtor, and she had this property that she knew she was not going to be able to sell on the regular open market. Called it up, Gloria, do you want it? Absolutely, I want this little ugly house because I'm going to make it beautiful. So basically what we did is I used all my charming skills, went to a lender and said, hey, will you give me a loan on this? So we got our traditional financing. How I got my down payment was I actually had done a flip earlier in the year, so I used the profits from that as my down payment. So able to get that going. This particular house we're doing ourselves. No, I would not recommend it. No, I don't always want to do this, but this one's going to work. It's going to be a great family project. We're only going to put about $20,000 into it. I could sell it on the open market right now for $150,000, but I'm not going to. I'm going to hold on to it for 3 to 4 years because right down the street is this great luxury condo building that just got built. My thought is 3 to 4 years from now, property values in this area are gonna skyrocket. At that point, I can make my decision. What am I gonna do with this house? Am I gonna do a higher end renovation on it, put a higher end tenant into it? Or at that point, I might be able to just sell it and make a nice, pretty profit on it. Win-win situation either way, multiple exit strategy, that's the best way to do it. This drywall right here, I hung that. I will tell you, I am the worst drywall hanger in the world. I punch those nails too far in. My 14-year-old can hang drywall better than I can. Mudding and taping in here, we're hiring the professionals for that because there's no way my perfectionist husband is gonna be able to handle that. So we will get the professional mudders and tapers in for that part of the project. My husband and I, this is our date night right now. We're in here getting sweaty and dusty and busting out drywall and hanging insulation. That's what we do for our Friday night date night. It's a great experience. So this is the part of the house we were supposed to do nothing with. The part that was going to be easy. It was only going to be drywall and flooring. I had the great idea of, hey, let's just knock the wall down just a little bit in the kitchen to open it up a little bit. Then, once we got there, we had to pull up the subflooring. That showed us that the oak floors underneath were completely rotten, had to get them completely out. Next, the bathroom we were gonna save. We weren't gonna do anything with the bathroom. No, had to do that completely out. We're literally jacking up the bathroom. This whole project is completely jacked up.
Gloria, it sounds like it's been an incredible 4 years. If you could take the sum of your experience and give it to somebody new as 3 pieces of advice, what would that look like?
So first of all, I love new investors. I just think it's so exciting when a 20-year-old calls me and says, hey, I want to get into investing. Let me help him. I just really want to help that new investor. So number one, I would say be learning based, always. I used to be a teacher. I taught kindergarten and first grade. If you can teach someone to read, you can do anything. But because of that, I absolutely love to read. I honestly have an app on my phone that I'm constantly, whenever someone says, hey, there's this great book that I read, put it on my app, it's going in my Audible. So number two, you have to build your team. That's the best thing. You can't do this yourself. It takes a village to get this going. So build your realtors, your property managers, your lenders, your contractors. Go to the meetups, find your local RIA meetings and just go there. I don't like, personally, the great big meetings. I go to the small offshoot meetups that have just like smaller groups of people. I sit in the back of the room, find the old geezer that's been doing this for 30 years. I'm sitting with him and just talking to him. What have you done in the past? What are the areas you're looking at now? I gained so much knowledge from that. That's just the best way, I think, to just do it. Build your team. Your property manager is one of the best people on your team. She's gonna be able to vet your clients for you, make sure you've got a good tenant in there. She's gonna be able to keep track of those small little maintenance items so they don't become into a big maintenance item. Help you with your turns. Your whole goal is to build wealth. It's not just getting a tenant in there and bringing this out. So make sure you're surrounded by a team, knows what your goals are and can help you reach those goals. Get on the BiggerPockets forums. Learn from all the guys that have been out there doing it for 30 years. That's the best way to learn. Use the experiences of other people to help you grow your business faster. So number three, and this is what I'm really, really passionate about, we need to give back. We as investors have been so blessed. We really just need to give back. We need to give back to our community. We need to give back to our tenants. I have a friend that has a big portfolio of properties. We had a mutual friend that really just needed some place to stay for a year. She was able to let that friend live rent-free for a whole entire year. I just think that's great that she could do that. I have local organizations I'm always trying to partner up with. One of my favorite local ones is called Family Promise. What they're doing is they're helping homeless and people that just can't afford regular houses to be able to get into a nice house. They like to partner up with landlords. They get private donations from United Way that actually fund this. So we as landlords actually don't lose any money. We're getting fair market value for our rents. And at the same time, these underprivileged people in the area are able to be into nice houses that we have fixed up for them. So that's another great organization. Find an organization like that in your community where you can partner up with them and help the underserved in the community.
Gloria, this is fantastic. Thank you. I love your story. It's great to meet you, and I'm glad that we get to interview in this fancy room.
I'm so glad I could bring this fancy room to you. It really was a blast today, Alex. Thanks so much.